Let's continue our videos on pathology series. So in this video I am going to discuss about the intracellular accumulations. So what's the meaning by intracellular accumulations? As the name suggests, intra. What's the meaning by intra? That means inside the cells. Intracellular, that means inside the cells, and accumulation means so any substance that accumulated inside the cells, that refers to as the intracellular accumulations. So here, as you can see, intra means inside. So inside the cells, it can be deposited in any place. It can be accumulated inside, can be in cytoplasm, can be in organelles, can be in nucleus. It can be accumulated in any organelles inside the cells. So what are the substances normally that we commonly see accumulate in the pathological conditions? So normally accumulation of lipids, accumulation of proteins, glycogens, water molecules, hyaline, calcium, and some pigments. So these substances that are normally accumulated inside the cells. So to accumulation of these substances, there are mechanism that is common. There are mainly 4 mechanisms to accumulation of these substances. And what is that mechanisms? So we're going to see that mechanism one by one. After that we see the detail of each accumulations, like lipid accumulation in accumulations, protein, what we see in the protein accumulation, what we see in the glycogen accumulation. So first of all we see the common mechanism. So at the level of which level defect is present, that can lead to the accumulation of this substance. So if you understand this mechanisms, you are able to identify any accumulation, that problem at which levels occur, why that can lead to the accumulation of this substance. So it is very important. So normally there are mainly 4 mechanisms that can lead to abnormal intracellular accumulations. So there are 4 mechanisms that can lead to intracellular accumulations. So normally what are these 4 mechanisms? So number 1 is what? Inadequate removals. So normally your cell is always working and it produces some metabolites, and that waste metabolites, it's mandatory to remove by the cells. If that metabolite is not able to remove, it can accumulate inside your cells. Like we take the example of kidney. Normally we should need to, by the kidney is filter our kidney is filtering the blood and remove out the waste product from our body. Like that same thing happen inside the cells. So it is also metabolite some products, and that product is a waste product, should need to throw out from the cells. So if cell is not able to throw out that waste product, this product remain inside the cells and that is accumulated inside the cell. So what's the first mechanisms? Inadequate removals. What? Inadequate removals. So due to any abnormal metabolism, any abnormal metabolic activity happen, and that metabolic activity not able to remove that waste product, so that product is remain inside your cells and it became accumulated. Okay, abnormal metabolisms. What are the second mechanisms? So normally if there are protein synthesis occur, after the protein synthesis, it is mandatory that protein is folding in the forms of the vesicles, and after that with the process of exocytosis is moved out from the cells. So normally if there is any defect in the protein folding, so it can be go out from the cells. Why it is not able to go out from the cells? Because it is not able to go inside the vesicles. For the protein to go out from the cells, it's mandatory. So how vesicle is look like? So normally this is the vesicles, and inside that vesicles is protein is present. So if after that protein is present inside the vesicles, then it is able to move out from the cell membrane. So normally in that condition, what happened? This protein is misfolded. So this protein can be go inside the vesicles? No guys, it is not able to go inside the vesicle, and it is not able to go out from the cell. So normally what happened, if that protein is no go out from the cells and perform its function, it remain inside the cells and it is accumulated inside the cells. So second mechanism is what? Defect in its folding, packaging, transport or secretions. Okay, so here you can see defect in protein transport. So here you can clearly see in the image. So here one protein that is accumulated inside the cells, here one protein is formed and it is not able to go out from the cells. So there are many proteins that are continuously formed in our cell for normal functionings. So this protein are many like that here, like many protein that is accumulated inside the cells. Okay guys, that can lead to accumulation of protein. And what is the third mechanisms? So normally when our cell is synthesizing something, it is in a complex form. What's the meaning by the complex form? Like we take example, if we eat the food, that is complex form. After our teeth and our mouth that chew the food and make it is more soluble to easy to swallow. So normally like that same thing occur in the cells. So normally what happened when the substrate are formed, substrate are normal in a complex form. So that substrate are in a complex form. So can you guys imagine that complex substrate can move out from the cell easily? It can cross the cell membrane. As you know guys, cell membrane is a permeable membrane, so it is normally not able to go out from the cell. To convert that complex substrate, we should convert into the soluble product. Only soluble product can move out from the cell membranes. So for conversion of this, we require some enzyme. So if that enzyme is deficient, so that complex substrate can be able to convert into the soluble product? No guys. So it is remain in a complex situations, and if it is not able to convert into the soluble products, it continuously remain in the complex substrate and accumulated inside the cells, and enzyme is not functioning and not able to move out from the cell. So what's the third mechanism? Inherited enzyme deficiency. These are the third mechanism. So here as you can clearly see, what substrate? Complex substrate. To convert complex substrate into the what? Soluble substrate. Like we can take the examples. There are one long polysaccharide chain. Can that polysaccharide chain move out from the cell? No. It is mandatory to convert that polysaccharide chain into the small fragment. Then it is able to convert out into the cells. Okay, that's the convert into soluble product. Then it is able to come out from the cells. So for that process we require some enzyme. So normally if this enzyme are absent, so that can lead to what? Accumulation of complex substrate. Normally this kind of mechanism, pathological mechanism is seen in which kind of disease? Lysosomal storage disease. What happened in lysosomal storage disease? In that condition mainly this accumulation of endogenous materials. Okay guys, so what's the meaning by lysosomal? Because for production of enzyme are produced by the lysosomes. So if lysosome are defect, so it is not produce the enzyme, and if enzyme is not available, it is not able to convert the complex substrate into the soluble product. So if the lysosome defect, so lysosomal defect, so that can lead to enzyme is not present. If enzyme is not present, complex substrate is not able to convert into the soluble products. So these are the pathological mechanism of the lysosomal storage disease. Remember guys, and what are the four mechanisms? So four mechanisms are very simple. So any accumulations of abnormal exogenous substance. So normally we take the example of some coal workers. So they are working in the coal factory, like carbon. So normally they are exposing to carbon every day. So for prolonged exposure to carbon, that can lead to the formation of a pneumoconiosis. What's the meaning by pneumoconiosis? The accumulation of carbon inside the lung. So that worker is working in the factory for many long period and it inhaling the carbon dioxide. So that carbon particles are accumulated inside the cell. That can lead to the pneumoconiosis. So that can lead to accumulation of abnormal exogenous substance. So this exogenous substance, anything, it can be carbon, some other lithium, that any particle exogenous from outside our environment, it go in our body and accumulated inside the cells. Okay, here guys you can clearly see. So how it can occur? Normally ingestion of ingestible materials. Okay guys, that can lead to accumulation of exogenous materials. So I hope guys that pathology is clear to you, how intracellular accumulation is occur. So intracellular accumulation are mainly occur due to four reasons. Remember these four reasons, very important. Number one, inadequate removals. So defect in at metabolism levels. Second one is what? Defect in protein. Defect at the level of the protein folding. If protein is not properly folded, it is not able to go out from the cell and it remain inside the cell and it is accumulated inside the cell. And what is the third one? Third one is the inherited accumulated enzyme deficiency. So normally when any product are formed, it is in a complex form. To convert that complex form into the soluble form, we require some enzyme. If that enzyme is not present, that remain in a complex form. And fourth one is the accumulation of abnormal exogenous substance. So any substance we can from outside our body that go inside the body and accumulated in the some cells, that can lead to the accumulation of abnormal exogenous substance. Now guys, we are going to see the one by one in detail what happened when the lipid is accumulated inside the cell. After we see the protein, then highly changed calcium, all these things we are going to detail. So first of all, lipid. So first of all, we understanding the physiology of lipids. So normally lipid are available in two forms. What form? Two forms. Number one is triglyceride form and second one was cholesterol form. What is the difference between triglyceride form and the cholesterol form? When these lipids are present in the circulations, that refers to as the triglyceride form, and when this lipid go and store inside some cells, that refers to as the cholesterol form. Not confuse that term with the accumulations. So normally cholesterol is stored and accumulation is a pathological condition and cholesterol accumulation is a physiological condition. So how it can difference, we are now going to see. So normally triglyceride, so as I already told you, if it is in circulations, so normally when that triglyceride is present in circulations, so it help in the formation of ATP. Okay guys, so in our body cell use as a substrate of energy this triglycerides. So normally what happened, if there's a large amount of triglycerides present in circulations, so this can go and accumulate it inside our cells. So normally what happened, so if this triglyceride is accumulated inside our cells, it can give us what kind of appearance? It can lead to what? Steatosis. What's the meaning by steatosis? So normally steatosis means fatty chains. So what's the meaning by that? Abnormal accumulation of triglyceride within the parenchymal cells. So steatosis means abnormal accumulation of triglyceride within the parenchymal cell. What's the meaning by parenchymal cell? It is accumulated inside the connective tissue, abnormal accumulation in parenchymal cells. But normally remember guys, this lipid accumulation can be seen in any organs, but that accumulation is mainly seen in which organ? Liver. Why mainly it is seen in the liver? Because liver is the major metabolic organ, because it can metabolize all the things in our body. That's why main accumulation occur in which organ? In liver. So normally when this accumulation occur into the liver, that can lead to what? Accumulation can lead to fatty liver. Okay guys, so normally accumulation of fatty livers, in which patient you commonly see the fatty livers? So normally these fatty liver are commonly seen in the alcoholic patients. So why it is commonly seen in the alcoholic patients? Because as you know, alcohol is damage our liver. So our liver is not able to metabolize the substance. So that liver is not able to metabolize the fat. So that fat go and accumulate inside the liver. That's why it is most commonly seen in the alcoholic patients as compared to the non-alcoholic patients. And so this liver like fatty liver we also see in the non-alcoholic patients. So what are the complication or risk factor? What are the risk factors that can lead to the fatty liver? So normally in non-alcoholic patient, if patient is obese and the diabetic, why these two are main? Because diabetes is a hyperglycemic state that deposits the fat in the periphery, and obesity, if patient is have too much amount of fat, that fat go and accumulate, that too much amount of fat, that means too much amount of triglyceride, and the triglyceride go and accumulate in the liver. That's why obese patient and the diabetes patient is also having a higher risk of developing of the fatty liver. So I hope guys that's clear. Now one very important microscopical appearance. So normally when you take the biopsy of the liver cells and you see in the under the microscope with the help of the hemotoxylin and eosinophil stain, you see the fat vacuoles. What you see? Fat vacuoles. Here you can clearly observe the fat vacuoles. So many fat vacuoles are present inside the liver cell. So these fat vacuoles are nothing, it is a blank space, because fat in the microscopic give whitish appearance. So it look like a empty space. That is a microscopical appearance of the fatty livers. And one very important point guys, so normally for the liver biopsy, when we take the liver biopsy, we put that liver cell inside the what temperatures? After the taking the liver biopsy for the examinations, we put that fixation in the -15 to -25 degree. because it is mandatory to maintain preserved outline of the levers. Otherwise, if we put in some other temperature, that can give us some false result. To prevent from the false results, we mainly put that into the -15 to -20. And we done the frozen sections. So here guys, it is written a frozen section is done for the fixation of fats. So normally that fats is mainly taking from the liver, so liver biopsy in that means. So normally what fixation we use in that conditions? So fixation that we use in that condition, it is a 10% natural buffered formations. Okay, this can be direct one-liner MCQ can become. So what fixation we use? 10% natural buffered. So here the one form of the lipid is covered triglyceride, and second is what? Cholesterol. So normally what's the function of the cholesterol? What's the function of the triglyceride? It is a free circulating in our body, and that help in the give us and some cell use as a energy. But not, remember guys, not in the early stage cell use it is as a energy. In the later stage cell use it is as a energy. So second is what? Cholesterol or cholesterol esterase. So normally what's the function of the cholesterol? So as all know guys, normally cholesterol is used for the synthesis of the cell membrane. So all the cell is having its membrane. For the synthesis of that membrane, we require cholesterols, and this synthesis of the cell membrane is occur without any accumulations. So without any kind of accumulation. So here written cholesterol is used for the synthesis of cell membrane without intracellular accumulation of cholesterol. And what are the other functions? Some steroidal hormones are also produced with the help of the cholesterols. So these are the normal function of the cholesterols. So normally in which conditions cholesterol can accumulate inside the cells? So if the cholesterol is also present in the cells, but if it is in physiological limits, so it is not cause any problem. So if cholesterol is storage in the physiological limit in your cells, then it won't cause any problem. If that cholesterol is storage in too much, that can lead to the what? Cholesterol accumulation. Cholesterol storage is different and cholesterol accumulation is different. Storage is a physiological form and accumulation is a pathological form. If it is very narrow range, that causes no problem. That's a physiological function. If it is occur in the too much amount, that can lead to the what? Cholesterol accumulation in these following conditions. That if the cholesterol, in which conditions we normally see the accumulation of cholesterol? So here cholesterol accumulation in this following condition. So this condition includes the number one what? Atherosclerosis. Second one is xanthoma. Third one is cholesterolosis, and fourth one is Niemann-Pick disease type C. So one by one we see that. So normally what happened in the atherosclerosis? So normally here's a blood vessels, and these blood vessels have its layer. So normally what happened in this condition, the most inner layer of the blood vessel is called what? Intima layer. So in that condition, in the intima, there's an accumulation of cholesterol, fat. Okay guys, accumulated, here guys it is written, accumulate in intima layer of aorta and large arteries. Okay guys, and what kind of it give? Yellow cholesterol laden atheroma characteristics. So what's the meaning by these lines? So normally the blood vessels innermost line is the intima, and in the intima that can accumulate the cholesterol. So normally, so as you can see, atherosclerosis patients, that we see the fat plaques inside the blood vessels, and normally that occur in which vessels? Like aorta and the large arteries. And if we are seeing in the microscopic appearance, that give us what kind of? Yellow cholesterol. So normally cholesterol is having a whitish color, but when these are accumulated inside the blood vessels, it gives us yellow cholesterol laden atheroma characteristics. Like it gives us a yellow kind of appearance in the microscopical examination. And second is what's the meaning by the xanthoma? So xanthoma referred to as normally inside the macrophages cholesterol is not present. So what's the meaning by the macrophages? Macrophages is a derivative of the monocytes. So macrophages, if it is go and deposit in some tissue, that refers to as the macrophages. Like in the example of the macrophages in liver cell, Kupffer cells, in the CNS microglia cells, these are all example of the macrophages. So normally what happened? So accumulation of the cholesterol within the macrophages. So here one macrophages are present. So this cholesterol is accumulated inside that macrophages. So normally these are refers to as what the xanthoma are referred to as what tumor of lipids. This other name of the xanthoma is what tumor of lipid. So normally when this accumulation of cholesterol within the macrophages occur, so these macrophages can work normally? No guys. So what's the function of macrophages? Main function of the macrophages is the phagocytosis. So this cell can able to do phagocytosis? No guys. In that condition, macrophages is not able to perform its normal function, phagocytosis. So in that condition, phagocytosis is also impaired, and that can lead to a high risk of bacterial infections, because for any kind of pathogen that enter in our body, first of all macrophages come and try to engulf and destroy that antigens. If that macrophages is damaged in that condition, can macrophages function that function proper? No, there's no function proper of the macrophage. That can lead to what? High risk of developing of the infection. And second one was cholesterolosis. So what's the meaning by the cholesterolosis? So normally the name suggests cholesterol. So normal accumulation of cholesterol in the lamina propria of the gallbladder. So accumulation, gallbladder has a layer, that's a lamina propria. Outermost layer of the gallbladder name is a lamina propria. So in the outermost layer of that, it accumulates the cholesterols, that refers to as what? So here a gallbladder and here outermost layer. So if in that layer, if there's an accumulation of the cholesterol, that refers to the what? Cholesterolosis. And normally this cholesterolosis give us what kind of appearance? So normally if there is any kind of fat is accumulated, it gives us whitish appearance, that I already told you in here. It gives us like whitish appearance, but in this condition it is not give us whitish appearance, it is give us slightly pink appearance. Okay, in cholesterolosis, if we take the biopsy of the cholesterol, so here it can clearly show slightly pink appearance. We can clearly see in the clearly see in that slides. So normally guys, you able to differentiate between that. So if that fat is accumulated, it gives us purely whitish appearance. Okay, fat vacuoles, blank space appearance. But cholesterol is accumulated, it is not give us blank space, it's slightly eosinophilic, pinkish appearance. Okay guys, and what's the last disease? So normally last one is the Niemann-Pick disease, and it is mainly type C. There are many type of Niemann-Pick disease, but the cholesterol accumulated in the type C. So normally it is a type of lysosomal storage disease, and that occurred mainly due to, for the breakdown of the cholesterol, we require a lysosomal enzyme. As I already told you here, lysosomal enzyme are very important here. Lysosomal storage disease. So lysosomal enzyme are very important to break down of the substrate, any kind of substrate. So if there are lysosomal disease, that cholesterol, so if there is a mutation in the lysosomal enzyme, so that cholesterol is not able to break down. If that cholesterol is not able to break down, that remain inside the lysosome and accumulate inside the lysosome. So that's why it refers to the due to mutation in lysosomal enzyme can lead to cholesterol accumulation in multiple organs. Okay guys, so these are mainly for the fat. So remember guys, so fat are mainly in two forms, triglyceride form and the cholesterol forms. And cholesterol, what the function of the triglyceride? It normally circulating in the blood, and it help in provide some energy. Cholesterol main function is the synthesis of the cell membrane and some steroidal hormone. And what happen if any kind of abnormality occur, and how it can accumulate inside the cells. Now next is the protein accumulations. What protein accumulations? So if the protein is accumulated inside the cells, what kind of appearance protein give us to the cells? So microscopically, it is normally appear as a rounded eosinophilic droplet vacuoles or aggregates in the cytoplasm. So remember guys, that if protein is accumulate, it gives us what kind of appearance? That give us pinkish appearance, and it is a vacuole. What's the meaning of vacuole? Round appearance. And it's what any kind of water droplet is present, that kind of appearance it gives and aggregates in the cytoplasm. After we have seen the slide, then after that we are totally clear regarding that. So remember this line, microscopically usually appear as rounded eosinophilic droplet vacuoles or aggregates in the cytoplasms. Okay guys, remember this. So normally protein are accumulated inside the cells, but there are many disease. In the disease, protein is accumulated outside the cells. So what are the disease in that condition? Protein is accumulated outside the cell. Then one disease is present. It is an amyloidosis. In the amyloidosis, protein is accumulated outside the cells. It is, we see this in the great detail in the separate modules. So these are the normally some condition in which we can see the protein accumulations. So first condition is what? The first condition is nephrotic syndrome. So if you are read the renal pathology, what's the meaning by the nephrotic syndrome? So nephrotic syndrome means excess proteinuria, that in the urine large amount of protein is go out. In normal physiological conditions, protein is not leaking out from the urine, but in the nephrotic syndrome large amount of protein is going out from the urines. So normally if the large amount of protein is filtered by the kidney and it is going out from the cell, so some kidney do also its function is try to reabsorb these proteins. So it's try to reabsorb this protein, and that protein reabsorbs deposited in that kidney tissue. So here is clearly written excess protein urine via, but some droplet are reabsorbed in proximal renal tubules. Okay, so normally large amount of proteinuria occur, but what's the normal function of the kidney? Reabsorption. So that kidneys try to reabsorb that proteins to compensate the body. But if that reabsorption is this reabsorption droplet are accumulated in the renal tubule cells, and that renal, if that we see in the microscopic, that give us what kind of appearance? So normally that give us the ink hyaline droplet within the cytoplasm of tubular cells. So ink hyaline droplet within the cytoplasm of the tubular cells. So we see the image here. Here the biopsy of the kidney. So here you can clearly see the tubules. These are the tubules, and these all are the tubules. And normally in the tubule you can clearly see this small protein accumulated, that reabsorbed protein, and it is a round shape, that's why it is a vacuole. So here ink hyaline droplet within the cytoplasm of tubular cells. So this kind of appearance come in the nephrotic syndrome. And other one is what? Emphysema. So normally in that conditions, what occur in emphysema? So normally for any kind of enzyme it's produced, we have the codon system, that messenger RNA come, that converts into the transfer RNA, then amino acid comes, then they make a one protein sequence, and that proteins go out of the cells and then perform the functions. So normally in this condition what happened? So protein that code for alpha 1 antitrypsins is accumulated in the endoplasmic reticulum. So normally the protein that are mainly code for the formation of the alpha 1 antitrypsin is accumulated in the endoplasmic reticulum. So if that is so that protein is accumulated so this protein is accumulated inside the endoplasmic reticulum. So it can able to code for the alpha 1 antitrypsin? No. So there's a what we can say deficiency of decrease in alpha 1. We can see there is a decrease alpha 1 antitrypsin. And normally what's the function of the alpha 1 antitrypsin? So normally alpha 1 antitrypsin is help in the removal of foreign particles from the lung and help in the alveoli to collapse. So here an alveoli. So when air is come in the alveoli, it become inflamed. When it go out, then it become in the normal size. So normally this normal size is maintained by with the help of what? Alpha 1 antitrypsins. So if this alpha 1 antitrypsin is absent, so this what happened to alveoli? This alveoli become like the collapsed alveoli. It's shrunken alveoli. So in that condition, what's the name of that conditions? In the collapse of the alveoli, that condition is called as the emphysema. So remember, the protein accumulation can also lead to emphysema. And last one is what? Alzheimer's disease. So what happened in the Alzheimer's disease? So normally neurofibrillary tangles are accumulates. What's the meaning by neurofibrillary tangles? So normally this neurofibrillary tangles are the intermediate filament of the neurons. Every cell have its intermediate filaments. Like that same neurons have its intermediate filament, that name as the neurofibrillary tangles that accumulated inside the cells, and that can lead to development of what? Alzheimer's disease. So normally if this protein is accumulated inside the cells, that give us some kind of microscopical finding with the help in the diagnosis. So what are the microscopical findings that we normally see in the accumulation of protein? So normally we see the two findings. Number one is the Russell body and second one is the Dutchell body. Russell body and Dutchell body. So what's the meaning by the Russell body? So normally when we see the intracytoplasmic inclusions here, you can see here, you can see the intracytoplasmic inclusion. These are what? These are your Russell bodies. And if we see the inclusion like droplet inside the nucleus, that refers to as what? Dutchell body here. That refers to as your what? Dutchell body. So remember the difference between the Russell body and the Dutchell body. So Russell body, what's the mean? Intracytoplasmic inclusion of the proteins. And if the Dutchell body is intranuclear inclusion. So this inclusion was protein inclusion. Okay guys. And in which conditions we normally see this? So normally these are seen in the multiple myeloma. Here are the conditions seen in multiple myeloma, immunoglobulin complex protein deposit. So any kind of protein depositing situation, you can find out this kind of slides. So but more commonly seen in which condition? It is seen in the multiple myeloma and the immunoglobulin complex protein deposit. So antigen antibody complex deposit. This antigen antibody is also protein that's also deposited inside your blood vessels and many other that can give us this kind of Russell body and Dutchell bodies. So this all for the protein accumulation. So let's revise. So normally the microscopically what's the appearance of the protein? It is give us pinkish appearance in the vacuoles, and in the some condition that protein is accumulated outside the cell, that refers to as the extracellular protein accumulations. And what are the some conditions that we normally see in the protein accumulations? In the nephrotic syndrome, emphysema, Alzheimer's disease. And remember the difference between the Russell body and the Dutchell bodies. Now we see the hyaline change. So normally what's the meaning by the hyaline change? So remember the definition of the hyaline change. So hyaline change means the term hyaline refer to an alteration within cells or in the extracellular space. So this hyaline is not an accumulation, it is one kind of change that we see in the cells. So normally this change can be intracellular or this change can be extracellular. That gives a homogeneous. What's the meaning by the homogeneous? Homogeneous means same kind of appearance inside the cells and outside the cells. Normally we are having a different kind of appearance outside the cells and inside the cell, but in this condition the same appearance inside the cell and the outside the cell. So homogeneous, glassy. What do they mean by glassy? Like the smooth appearance, like our finger palm are the very smooth, that kind of glassy. And what kind of a pink appearance? So eosinophilic or pink appearance in routine histologic section stained with hemotoxin and eosinophils. Okay guys, so in what conditions we are mainly seeing the intracellular hyaline change? So intracellular hyaline change example are the Russell bodies and Mallory hyaline body. So here we see the Russell body, it is also one kind of hyaline change. Okay guys, and what's the Mallory hyaline body? Mallory hyaline body we see in the next slide. Okay, so and in which conditions we see the extracellular hyaline change? So normal extracellular hyaline change can be seen in the long-standing hypertension and the diabetic mellitus patient. So normal diabetic mellitus patient and the chronic hypertensive patient have a hyaline change outside the cells, and inside the cells present in what? Russell body, and Russell body is seen in the what? Protein accumulation. So protein accumulation can also give us the hyaline change. So this is the interconnection. So read like that so it becomes easy for you. So normally what are the conditions that give us the hyaline change? Normally Mallory hyaline bodies. So here Mallory hyaline body are seen in what kind of conditions? So here one very important mnemonic. So before the going to a Mallory hyaline body mnemonic, remember that what's the meaning of the Mallory hyaline body? So normally Mallory hyaline body is composed of the intermediate filament like cytoskeleton. So if intermediate filaments present in the neurons, here I tell you neurofibrillary tangles, if that intermediate filament is present in the skin, what we call the cytokeratin. Okay guys, so normally Mallory hyaline body composed of intermediate filament like cytokeratin. What kind of cytokeratin? 8 and cytokeratin 18. So what are the example of the new Indian? What are the example of a Mallory hyaline body? In which condition we commonly see the Mallory hyaline body? For that, we have developed one mnemonic. Remember that mnemonic? New Indian Watch. What's the meaning by the New Indian Watch? New stand for what? And non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis. Remember guys, non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis. Second one is what? Indian. For what? Indian childhood cirrhosis. It is a liver conditions. And third one is what? W. Wilson disease. And fourth one is what? Alcoholic liver disease. Fifth one is what? T. T stands for what? Tumor disease. What kind of tumor? Hepatocellular carcinoma. C stands for what? Cirrhosis like condition, like primary biliary cirrhosis. And H stands for what? Focal nodular hyperplasia. So these are the example of the Mallory-Hyland body, that in which condition we can see the Mallory-Hyland body. So Mallory-Hyland body can see in these conditions more commonly. It can see in also other condition, because it is a normally one Hyland change. It can occur in many conditions, but we are more specific in which conditions, like examiner can ask you question. So remember this mnemonic: Mallory-Hyland body commonly seen. And Mallory-Hyland body is composed of what? Cytokeratin 8 and 18. What's the meaning by cytokeratin? It is one kind of intermediate filament that present in your skin. Okay, where next we see the concept clear regarding the intermediate filaments. So normally New Indian Watch. So number one is what? Non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis. New stand for Indian, for Indian childhood cirrhosis. W. Wilson disease. A. Alcoholic liver disease. T. Tumor disease like hepatocellular carcinoma. C. For cirrhosis like primary biliary cirrhosis. And H for focal nodular hyperplasia. So normally what are the appearance of the Mallory bodies? So here in the image you clearly see Mallory bodies. So what? It give a pink eosinophilic appearance inside the cells. Here the Mallory bodies. So guys, you again and again during the video, you again refer to one term with the intermediate filament. So what's the meaning by the intermediate filament? So normally for that we are going to see the cytoskeleton. What's the meaning by cytoskeleton? Like in our body is also need the skeleton to provide the strength. So same as the cell is also have its own skeleton, that refers to as the cytoskeleton, that provides cell to strength. So normally there are mainly three types of cytoskeleton are present: microtubules, intermediate filaments, and the microfilaments. So what are the example of the microtubules? Example of microtubules: dynein and the kinesin, and their main function is the axonal transport that you read out in the physiology. And what's the meaning by cytoskeleton and microtubules? Other is the intermediate filament. What's the meaning by the intermediate filaments? So if this if this intermediate filament is present in the epithelial cells, that term as the keratin filament. So if you now remember guys, if you anytime see any kind of term like keratin filament, neurofilament, Desmin filament, so it is one kind of intermediate filament, but its location is changing. Okay guys, so if it is present in the epithelial cell, there's a keratin filament, and if it's present in the neurons, that refers to as a neurofilament. If in the muscle, that refers to as the Desmin filament. And if it is present in the connective tissue, that refers to as the Vimentin filament. And if it is present in the astrocytes, that refers to as the glial filament. And remember guys, these are helpful as a tumor marker. Why it is helpful in the tumor marker? Because it is having one kind of filament, but it is present in the different kind of cells. So we develop a marker, that one marker is specific for that cell. So if any kind of tumor is occur and we don't know this tumor is originate from the which side, if we detect that marker, so we can easily see that tumor is originate from the this neurofilaments. Okay, and what's the example of microfilament? It's the actin myosin. And what is the function of actin myosin? It helps in the muscle contractions. So that's all for the accumulations. Now we are going to try to solve out some MCQs. So normally first question is Mallory-Hyland body is seen in all except. So remember guys, when we see where we see the Mallory-Hyland body is in the Hyland changes. Okay, and what are the mnemonic for that? What are the mnemonic we develop for the Mallory-Hyland bodies? It is a New Indian Watch. That New stands for what? Non-alcoholic steatotic hepatitis, and I stand for Indian childhood cirrhosis. So here try to find out the answer. And W stands for Wilson disease. Wilson disease is present. Alcoholic liver disease, yes, it is also present. And then it is about and focal nodular hyperplasia. H, remember H, watch H, focal nodular hyperplasia. So in which condition we are not see? In the multiple myeloma. In the multiple myeloma, we are not going to see the Mallory-Hyland bodies. In multiple myeloma, we mainly see the what? Here, multiple myeloma, we see the what? Russell body and the Dutchell bodies. Okay guys. And what's the second question? A patient is chronic alcoholic Suddenly patient develop lower limb edema and laboratory patient is chronic alcoholic and suddenly patient develop lower limb edema, that's swelling in the lower limb. So laboratory investigation find out high levels of SGPT, high levels of SGOT. For diagnostic purpose you perform a liver biopsy. So you perform a liver biopsy, guys. Okay, so at which temperature did you put liver biopsy cells? So remember, guys, I told you to take the liver biopsy cells and we put in the what, frozen section. So at which temperature we normally put? In -15 to -25. And last question is, name of intermediate filament in connective tissue. Name of intermediate filament in connective tissue. So in the connective tissue, what's the name of the intermediate filaments? So if it is a glial filament we normally see in astrocytes, and vimentin filament. So yes, this is the answer. If the keratin filament normally present in keratin filament where epithelial cells, and other is what, Desmin filament. Desmin filament present in where? Desmin filament we mainly see in the muscle cells. Okay, so vimentin filament. If this intermediate filament is present in the connective tissue, that we call as a vimentin filament. So thank you, guys. That's all for today.